come home. He's rolling back the years. His first Tigers debut exactly 14 years ago this weekend, and Phil Bentham is about to get his 194th appearance for Castleford underway here. It's a dry night in West Yorkshire. The Dragons will attack as we watch in basically all white from left to right. And can the Tigers go back to the top of the table? Jackson with the first run forward, and an enthusiastic chase from the Catalan Dragons first on.
We talk about the return of the mercurial Danny Orr, and it really has taken a lot of pressure off the standoff Rangi Chase, who is the man that makes them tick. There's no doubt about that. Trent Robinson will be aware. They'll put a lot of pressure onto Rangi Chase tonight.
And there he is at dummy half, Rangi Chase. He gets the ball away to Brett Ferris. But Peya is in there, Lupini Peya, the big number 23 on his back, the Tongan international. And this now is Jake Emmett. Tigers man of the match against Hull Kingston Rovers last week. Last tackle here for Castleford, not outside their own half. They are now, courtesy of the boot of Danny Orr, but that will run too long. Damien Blanche just seeing it over the dead ball line. The Catalan Dragons will come back to the 20-metre line to restart.
Well, he had plenty of years here, didn't he, Danny Orr? Knows this ground inside out, but just a touch too strong. The Catalans, they'll be happy with their defence, as we've already mentioned in the build-up to this game, that the French outfit are finding it very difficult to get into this swing of things early in the matches.
They come here, though, knowing that they lost all three against Castleford last year. 16-20 down in Perpignan, 18-34 at Murrayfield Magic, and 20-24 here. This is a penalty, though, for the Catalan Dragons.
Great work by the hooker. Ian Henderson, quick play of the ball, and they could see that they were not standing square, and he went right at them. Quick thinking.
Adam Milner was retreating, wasn't he? Perhaps a touch unlucky there. He was trying to get back the 10 metres to allow him to commit the tackle. But it's Catalan here now, 10 metres straight in front of the post.
Good solid run from Lupini Peya as well. And there's the big fellow, Jamal Fakir. This is his first start of the new campaign.
Craig Hubie complaining to the official, saying that he thought it was a raised elbow. Knocked him on his backside.
Henderson's pass from dummy half, not the best. Here is Clint Greenshields, though.
Go.
Bang.
Okay.
You felt that.
Duro getting the ball out wide, but the Castleford defence standing firm at the moment. There's Henderson again. Looking for the runner. Oh, well, he's seen plenty of it. They're obviously hoping to use his strength to get through this Tigers defence early.
Big hit by the prop.
For a good start.
Certainly was, but it was a big hit by the prop forward, Paul Jackson. But that's keen defence. Bang, look at that. That's how to hit him body and soul. Just lodged the ball.
Nick Youngquest. There's Trent Robinson on the left of your screen. Jerome Guisset, not out there on the field anymore. He's on the coaching staff at the Catalan Dragons alongside him. Danny Orr, the dummy half. Good run again from Jake Emmett.
Wait, go. Sure, then.
From what I've seen of Castleford this season, there's been some ruthless simplicity about them. They stay in the middle of the field, they get to the halfway line and they kick the ball. When they get position in the opponent's half, that's when the likes of Chase and Danny Orr come to life.
It was a high hanging kick.
But I would, sorry, just to finish off my point, the thing they have done though is defend very, very well. If you've got to be simple with possession, you need to make sure that you're strong in the middle of the field defensively. And they've been that. They've been enthusiastic and they've controlled their opponents on many occasions.
Well, they were trailing 6-14 to Hull KR last week. They got it back to 12-14 by half-time. In the second half, they kept Rovers scoreless. They won by 27 points to 14. A great win. This, though, now is Daryl Millard and Julian Rinaldi watching on after last night's exploits for Wakefield against Warrington. Of course, Rinaldi knows all about this Catalan Dragons team, doesn't he? Setemata Sarr almost got the man through. The runner was Sebastian Ragan. and the kick across field. There's danger here. Menzies palms it back. It's swooped on by Scott Durow, and he's in for the first try. Scott Durow, and you can hear the silence here at the Coliseum. He got his first try and a couple of goals against St Helens last week.
Tell him, Brett.
And Scott Durow has given coach Trent Robinson exactly what he wanted. A good start.
Come here.
I think something's gone on,
Don't
though.
turn away.
And
right, listen to me.
the referee's not happy.
I'll decide when we go to the screen. I'm not having you in my ear like that. No, leave it out. Leave it out. I'll decide.
Well, he's telling the Castleford players, Mathers, and I think it was Brett Ferris, he will decide if and when he goes to the screen, i.e. to allow Ben Thaler the opportunity to judge on the legality of the try and not the players.
And
There
well
didn't
done
seem
the
anything
official.
wrong with that, I must say.
Yeah, and well done the official. He's the man with the whistle, he's the boss, but this was not great by the Tigers. They kept the ball alive, offloads, and you can see that they're a little bit confused. And it's not the best to try to get to it. Beautiful play there. The prop forward, Peer, that actually knocked the ball back, but well played by Scott Durow.
I think they were appealing then for the referee to go to the screen because they looked as though there was a touch of obstruction. Durow has added the extras. It's 6-0 to the Catalan Dragons. Just what Robinson wanted. A good start.
Well, they had the numbers out wide, and then they kept it, and it was this offload that really just set it all up. Regan got it, offload, get the chance, and you could see Menzies knocks it back, and that's neat work. Good step. They went for the ball.
So Castleford Tigers behind on the scoreboard. Green Shields underneath the kickoff.
You'd say on that try, Eddie, there might have been a little lack of communication among the Catalan Dragons. Now, I know they scored from it because it was wonderful sweeping play from Scott Durow, but one went up to pat the ball back and had nobody in place. Nobody set them. Didn't seem to be the communication. I'm batting it back. You guys hang off.
Well, they'd even ran the ball on the last tackle on the left-hand side, I think unaware that it was the last tackle. Fortunately, they had the strength to get the offload through.
Here he is again, Peyer. Been given his chance from the start, him and Jamal Fakir, with Ferriol and Casti on the bench. Here is Menzies, gets it wide to Damien Blanche, and Blanche will hack it forward. Durow, is he onside? How's the bounce? Well, it's handy actually for Castleford, not too clever for Scott Durow, and it was Kirk Dixon to the rescue.
Was it ever? He allowed it to bounce, they didn't get the luck, and Dixon swept up. Beautiful kick inside from Blanche. Oh, and he could have been in for his second Durow.
Great chip over the top by Damien Blanche, the Irish international who began his career at Castleford.
Well, the Catalan coach, Trent Robinson, made it quite clear that his side, if they're going to make any impact in Super League this year, they've got to start a lot better than what they have in the past. He'll be happy with this. They've had two very good offloads that's caught the Tigers' defence.
This fellow's return makes a big difference to the Catalan Dragons. Clint Greenshields.
Just to underline the point that Steve was making there about the starts that the Dragons have made to this game. In the opening quarter, the first 20 minutes of matches this year, they'd scored only once and conceded 7 tries up until this point. I think Trent Robinson will be delighted this side have not only started by scoring, but looking to play with more control.
You're exactly right, Phil. The longer you go without conceding a try, that confidence builds inside you, so you don't need to come out and blow them away early on in the game.
Well, obviously the plan is to look for this big fellow from Tonga, Lapini Paya. Prop in Cardiff as well. Prop here tonight. Durow is through a hole, and there is Menzies backing up. Castleford with a bit of a crisis on their hands here because the Catalan Dragons are cutting them open.
Well, Menzies will be furious that there was no second phase. He was looking around, he could twist on 2 occasions. Neat little kick, Blanche has got it, it's a try!
Brilliant catch from Damien Blanche. And a brilliant kick, actually, off the outside of the boot from Scott Durow. Damien Blanche left up high, and Terry Mattison knows his team have got to do better than this if they do have hopes of regaining top spot. Blanche got above everybody then. The man who began at Castleford, as I say, helped them gain promotion in 2005. He's formerly with Wakefield as well, knows this part of the world well. What a try.
Certainly was, and when you're adventurous like that, it was Duro that got it out. Beautiful kick there, leaps above everyone else. And really, that was not the best there. They obviously feel there's a problem on this left-hand side. Kirk Dixon on the wing, on the outside of a boot, and you can see there that Youngquest, was having a bit of a problem. And that left-hand side, Terry Madison, the Tigers coach, knows he has to plug that very quickly.
Great finish for Damien. That's a special kick. That's as good a kick as we're going to see. He's had kick pressure on him. He's had the twisted kick with the outside of his foot. Wonderful, wonderful kick with not much room for error.
Well, Duro has scored a try and a goal and has created that try with a wonderful kick to the wing. And here he is now trying to establish a 12-0 lead. And Trent Robinson talking all week about a great start. This goes over, they've had it. But he's missed it with that. But 10-0, it's not bad for the French.
You know, there's been a lot of pressure on the wearer of the number 7 jersey for the Catalan Dragons since Stacey Jones left the club. They've tried a variety of different people. Here's the kick again. I go so far to say that was perfect. The height and the timing was an invitation for Damien Blanche. And Scott Duro, wearing number 7 tonight here for the Catalan Dragons, fills a place of players like Shane Perry, Brent Sherwin, Casey Maguire, all who've tried to fill the boots of Stacey Jones, and he's doing it very well in the opening stages.
Not only has he come up with the try and a goal here tonight, but also during the course of the season, Duro now has been involved in 7 try assists this year. He has created exactly half of the Catalan Dragons' tries.
He certainly is a talent, and I'm sure that Terry Madison has to get the message out, try to lift the confidence of Nick Youngquest. They're playing down this right-hand side, and he'll be all jittery for the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Duro just pumps the ball downfield. That's easy for Richie Mathers, who will run this ball back. But what a chase from the Catalan Dragons. Absolutely straight, that line of defence. Down to Bill.
Eddie, just picking up on that Scott Duro point, Trent Robinson saying before the game he's looking forward to seeing just how effective the partnership of Duro and Thomas Bosk will be. And Bosk, the word is 4 to 6 weeks still away from fitness after a knee operation, but he did have his first full training session with the Catalan squad during this week. He's come through that okay, and they're now looking to step up his rehab.
Meanwhile, Castleford looking to step up the pace and the intensity here. That's Stuart Jones.
The biggest problem, they've had no possession, no field position either.
They might get some now here, but Ferris, though, fumbles it under pressure from Blanche.
Wonderful work by the winger, Damien Blanche. He came right on the angle for the big centre Ferris. Look at this. Oh, that is pressure. Great stuff.
As this game speeds up, a feature to look out for is markers not being able to get square. Now, he has warned them and he's blown a penalty already in this game forward. But as teams try to speed up, you're going to force those players to get off quicker. Sometimes they won't be able to get set. And the referee, I have a feeling he's going to blow a penalty again soon. He's warning them constantly.
Brett Ferris, who just couldn't control that ball. He's the only member of this Castleford side in the England elite squad that was announced last week by Steve McNamara. And Steve McNamara, as we saw, is here to watch tonight. That's Setemata Sarr, gets the ball away.
Move! Hold! Go!
And Henderson gives it to Sarr again.
Interesting to see how Sarr handles the standoff position. Hasn't played in that role for just over 12 months, so...
You say that looked a touch forward, his pass then to Daryl Millard, but the referee thought otherwise. Henderson gives the ball here to Jason Betheri, son of the former Paris Saint-Germain chief executive Taz Betheri, and operating in Super League this year. Now Duro again, and Peyer takes it over, and he's seeing a lot of the ball in the opening.
He's a big unit,
14 minutes.
He's causing a lot is and so is Scott Duro.
And the kick
too strong.
The boot of Ben Farah, just too long.
Well, what about the nerves jingling yet again? They're attacking down on that left defensive pattern on the Tigers.
Well, I must say the Catalan Dragons looked all offside then from that restart.
And the crowd
letting Phil Benton know.
He's taking no notice of it, though. To be fair, they're eager, aren't they? They are by far, in the opening exchanges, the better side. They're taking control. Castleford just cannot get over the halfway line.
Early change by Terry Mattison. Martin Aspinwall's come off the bench. Needs to act quickly. 14 minutes gone. They're 10-0 down. This is Ferris. Almost away from Duro, and then Farah came in for a second snap, and Castleford get the penalty. It's their first.
Well, he had hold of him, so... well, Brett. Farah, should I say, Ben Farah was just thinking to himself, well, he was moving, so I get through it. First real opportunity. Haven't even seen any of the magic that Rangi Chase can produce. This is what he wanted. He's on that short blind side. Will it come this way? No, it's gone away.
Milner was the dummy half. Nick Fossard is also on the field for the Castleford Tigers. Meanwhile, this is Rangi Chase. Gets the ball away once again to Oliver Holmes. Another of the young guns enjoying a fantastic start to the year. Dragging a couple of players with him towards that try line. Milner again, but it goes behind everyone. Orr is there to tidy up. Stuart Jones doing his best to get through this heavy traffic. Fossard waiting for the first touch. And Castleford get a penalty. Interference at the play of the ball. Jones wanting to get on with it. Three men trying to slow him down.
Took an eternity to try to get away from him.
Think about it. Wait.
One drive by the forward, perhaps, and then they'll set up. Maybe on that blind side. Fossard! Big run. Good defence, though.
The debut tonight for his 6th professional club for Nick Fossard. Milner, a 360-degree turn. Takes the responsibility himself and takes the tackle from Peya. Good ball, good try. It's Craig Hubie. Well, penalty, try. It's the usual sequence. And Craig Hubie touches down next to the uprights. It's exactly what Castleford wanted. Perhaps the changes that Terry Mattison has made from the sideline, throwing on Aspinwall, throwing on big Nick Fossard, maybe they have borne fruit here. That, by the way, is Craig Hubie's 40th try for Castleford. He got a try in the first ever meeting against the Dragons. 34-28 here in February 2006, and he's on his 160th appearance for the Tigers.
Well, this is the penalty they give away. The Peony Peya all over the place, and what about that beautiful delayed pass there from Rangi Chase? They just stood, watched, they thought he was going out wide. Look how he just holds it, then flips it. Great stuff. Reaches out, brought forward Craig Hubie. Tremendous stuff. And, you know, it's a good move sometimes by coach. It's Terry Mattison sending out two out there. It sends a message to the rest of the players: if you don't play well, I'm going to change you.
Kirk Dixon slams over the conversion. Castleford are on the board. It's 10-6 though still to the Catalan Dragons.
You know what else is interesting, and how long players in the middle of the field can play. Here the player you see who carries over the line, Jamal Fakir, has just been replaced. In fact, David Ferriol was on the sideline about 30 seconds before that try. Trent Robinson couldn't quite get him on quickly enough, as he thought the energy was running out of Jamal Fakir.
Well, there he is, David Ferriol, coming off the bench. A new 2-year deal signed for the Dragons last July. Orr is underneath the kickoff. Here comes Fossard again.
Move! Hold!
And that's the type of injection that I'm referring to, Eddie, is it that, you know, Fossard's the type of player that runs with his knees up, and it gets the crowd excited, lifts the spirits, and the result, two good runs from him, and the magic from Rangi Chase does the rest.
Well, that will lift them, but they haven't had field position either. They'll be confident. They'll know that although they were behind on the scoreboard, they haven't had field position. Should they get field position, they will be confident of scoring, as they showed us in previous plays.
Ferris at dummy half, Rangi Chase, ball goes infield and finds Aspinwall again.
Well, the crowd going berserk about the Catalan defence not going back to 10, but it's been ignored by the official.
Danny Orr with the kick, fielded on the bounce by Clint Greenshields.
Great chase. That'll lift the spirits also for the coach Terry Mattison, because they're a little bit lax, a little bit loose with their chasing.
They won here in 2009, did the Dragons, 22 points to 20, and Greenshields, who just fielded that kick downfield, he scored a try in that match. Ferriol, risky offload, Duro picked it up, but no, he didn't, says Phil Bentham. He's given Castleford head and feet at the scrum for a knock-on there.
I don't think he did. I think he let it bounce first. Ferriol offloading under traffic. Oh, I'm not so sure. And was it
That's a knock-on.
was it a touch by one of the Tiger players? They may have been.
Maybe Ferris got fingertips to it. Duro certainly thinks he picked that up cleanly.
I think on the replay that he just lost control of it, the vital moment.
Jones up the middle. 3 to bring him down. They're doing their best to slow the Tigers down, aren't they? Rangi Chase gets the ball infield and finds Holmes again. Only 18 years of age, this fellow. So good to see so many of these Castleford players in their teens. Ferris, hauled down by Ben Farrar. That could have been a flop from Green Shields. It is.
Well, this will only irritate Phil Bentham, the official.
It'll irritate Trent Robinson as well.
Once the arm's down, you can't come in there. We'll call it. No, but you've got to judge it. Once he's down, that's it.
He's having none of it.
Let him get back.
Phil Bentham.
Well, he's got him for holding down, but there certainly was a bit of a flop in there. More problems for Trent Robinson. Oh, it's obviously a ploy that they've come to this ground to just slow things down there.
It's just too quick for Catalan at the moment, Steve-O. It's just too quick. Castleford have sped up this game. Catalan are struggling to hold on to them.
Danny Orr again. Short pass to the try scorer, Hubie. He will always take it forward, will Craig Hubie. 24 years of age, seems to have been here for years.
Been a great servant, hasn't he?
I suppose he has been here for years if this is his 160th appearance. Chase again, finds Danny Orr. There's Richie Mathers chiming in. They go wide to Jones. Oh, and the pass was a bit too far in front. There was no way that Joe Arundel would get to that.
Yeah, just it was dipping.
Under pressure as well from Cyril Stackool.
But you could see that it was floating forward. He had to reach away. Arundel, no chance of getting that. Well, frittered away the opportunity, but it certainly put the writing on the wall for the Catalan side, because their defence is being run ragged at the moment.
When you get the fullback coming into the line like that, Eddie, you're automatically going to get an overlap, aren't you? They just couldn't get the ball to Dixon on the wing, and that is a very difficult pass. I'm asking, I suppose, Stuart Jones to try and throw. In the end, he threw it to his centre, Joe Arundel. Here
is Steve Menzies, 37 years of age. Interestingly enough, Brad Davis, the ex-Castleford man, he's the oldest Super League player of all time at 38.5 years of age. I wonder if Menzies will beat that record. Got every chance, because he still looks pretty fit, doesn't he, Steve Menzies? Good drive forward by the prop forward off the bench, Remy Casti.
I was talking to Steve Menzies before the game, Eddie. He said he still felt good and would consider certainly playing again next year. He's really looked after himself.
He has. Nice dink over the top by Henderson, that was. And Mathers has got to run this back, and it's Menzies leading the charge. We missed Mathers then. That's good ground gained by the Castleford fullback.
Well, they'll be happy with that, the French side, because they were putting a lot of pressure. It looked as though it was going to be a poor kick, but it turned out all right.
Good quick play the balls from Castleford. Got them on the front foot. Danny Orr took the first drive forward, now takes the next one on tackle number 4. Rangi Chase is waiting. They're over the halfway line. It's a good run from Chase. Was he offside, Casti? No.
Should have been a penalty. I don't think they were standing square, but it's a high bomb.
It is, it's from Danny Orr. But Clint Greenshields is safe as houses under those, usually.
That was great work from Catalan. They were losing every tackle in that set. Didn't give a penalty away. Defended, held back, discipline, kept their discipline when the referee was shouting at them, and managed to defuse Castleford's attack. That was a wonderful defensive set from the Catalan Dragons in a set where they were behind all the time.
And we spoke earlier in regards to that the nerves would have been going through the body of Nick Youngquest. It was Youngquest's run right down the middle of the field, got about 16 metres forward. Quick play of the ball, and they're applying the pressure.
40-20 attempt here from Duro. Out on the fall. Oh, he grimaces, grits his teeth. He knows this is a huge error.
Well, it's an option when you go early. They went on the 4th, didn't wait, and you could see that there was no winger there. Just a touch of wind just blew it away, but good tactics.
That's the risk and reward, isn't it? That's why it's been put there, the rule, to entice teams to attempt it. If it doesn't come off and you take that risk, then now you have to pay the consequences. And they are defending here now with Castleford looking in the ascendancy.
Look out for the number 27. He's packing down at hooker there. Darrell Clark, magnificent off the bench against Hull Kingston Rovers last week. 4 teenagers in this Castleford side have lit up the season. And Clark is certainly one of them. And they have this experienced man here, Rangi Chase. There is Clark.
Oh, that looked late there by Setamata Sarr.
Rangi Chase is down. He's just up now, scampering into dummy half and looking at Sarr. Here's Craig Hubie. Danny Orr gets a great ball away to Stuart Jones. Scores a level. Castleford's fight back's complete. They've upped the tempo. The changes by Mattison have worked wonders here. Trailing 10-0. 10-all, kick to come. And Stuart Jones with the try. This fellow put in 35 tackles. What a shift last week against Hull Kingston Rovers. He only missed one last year. That was against his old club, Huddersfield.
This is the kick that went astray. They were looking for the 40-20 by Scott Deroe. And he got them in the position here. It was beautiful play here. But they were left hanging. He's been a hero the early part of this time, Scott Deroe, but I'm afraid he was well out of position and just run through this wonderful gap there. Great finish. Any youngsters watching, look how he came onto the ball at speed. Plenty of aggression. Great try. The Tigers looked as though they were struggling. Got themselves in a good position. Once they got possession, they are showing their skill factor, and the crowd are loving it.
Well, it's their best ever start to a Super League season. They last won 4 in a row in the Super League in June and July last year, and it included a home win against the Catalan Dragons. This from Dixon to give them the lead for the first time. And he's kicking well. That's his 14th successful kick of the year. 5 from 5 against Hull KR last week. And it's 12-10 to the Tigers.
You'd say Catalan have only themselves to blame. Previous try came from a loose offload. This one came from a missed 40-20 attempt. Stu Jones powering through to score. Catalans have been their own worst enemy. They've created this position and this advantage for Castleford. They need to get back, get in, rein it in a little, and go back to doing what they were doing in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Well, a lot of the, shall we say, lower teams in the Super League at the moment, their biggest problem, of course, is that they defend very well. They go up as a unit in one line for maybe 10 minutes, and then for another 10 minutes they just look like a dog's back leg. You know, some are hanging back, and on that occasion you could see that the halfback Scott Deroe did not put himself in a good position. There was a huge gap for Jones to go through.
Withers is on for Castleford. Let's go down to Bill.
Eddie, just before the restart there, Phil Bentham, the referee, had a quick word with Setamata Sarr, and just before that try, Setamata Sarr took out Rangi Chase, I think, off the ball, and way off the ball in actual fact. The ball on one side of the field, and they were still at it on the other. So he's just given him a caution. He's got to just watch his step for the immediate future, I think. This is the incident.
Yes, a bit of afters in back play. Meanwhile, this is Young Quest, who's got a try in each of the first 3 appearances. Chase to Danny Orr. That's the heartbeat of the side, Chase and Orr. And this is Aspinwall. Danny Orr scampering from dummy half. Gets the ball away to Stuart Jones, the try scorer. Competition there for the ball, one-on-one with Ian Henderson.
Stuart, stay where you are.
Now, Hubie into David Ferriol. Bounces off Ferriol, though. It's opened up for Hubie. Green Shields there to the rescue. Wants a quick play of the ball. Penalty under the stick.
Should be 5 minutes, Sinbin.
Maybe 10.
10, sorry. Well, at least 5 anyway. 10. I mean, that was a professional foul.
Maybe it was a semi-professional foul. Maybe it should be 5.
I like to go 50-50 in life.
Fossard will drive it in again. Can Castleford capitalise on that penalty? No, they can't, because Clark now has lost it.
Good work by Menzies.
On impact. Just on impact.
Now then, who's he going to give? He's going to give it to the French side. But the experience of Menzies there, watch this. Knocks the ball carrying arm.
You've got to get into
And young Clark will realise that he will not be called like that again. You learn from your mistakes in this game.
3 times in the row.
The old stager just whipped his arm down.
You can learn a lot from him, Steve-O. Most of everything that he does in a game is class, world class. He's been at the very, very top for so long, and still, even at this advanced years, he brings touches of class to everything he tries to do in these games.
Do you know Darryl Clark wasn't born when Steve Menzies made his debut for Manly?
It's a
2
penalty
generations
here.
of the game there.
Penalty here for Catalan Dragons, pushing and shoving interference. Nick Farzad, but Craig Hubie, I wonder if he had a little glance into the stands tonight to see the England coach Steve McNamara watching on from the sideline here, because there's a lot of people in this part of the world who cannot understand why Hubie, on his form so far in 2011, is not in that England squad.
I agree with you. He really has played well, though I must say he's having a wow of a game tonight. Good job that Greenshields got to him, because that was a sidestep that even the centre would have been extremely proud of.
And here come the Catalan Dragons again. That's Remy Casti on the ball.
Hold, go.
And Henderson waits 20 metres away. Setimaar Sarr gets the ball away decently to Sebastian Ragan. Henderson again. Setimaar Sarr, he's a big man, and he almost was able to spin and plonk that ball over the line. This is the last tackle, though, for the Catalan Dragons. Farzad has to be careful.
That was a great tackle by Farzad.
There's the kick from Duro again. Oh, it's worked out perfectly. It's found Menzies. Blanche wants the ball kicking to the corner. Menzies obliges. And I think to the rescue and grounded comes Nick Youngquest.
Well, he'll have a little bit of a talking to there. I mean, that was a bit of petulance that we could do without.
Time off.
As soon as he dives on this ball, that's it. It's grounded. End of story. Ball carrying arm.
Well, he could ground that with any part of his body, couldn't he, Steve?
Yeah.
The referee's got that call right. I think I'll talk to him here.
Whatever happened, I've called it. Don't throw the ball away, okay?
Well, he's had an up and down start to this game.
He's lucky actually not to get a penalty given away because of that.
But he's in a good mood, Phil Bentham, tonight, obviously. He was put under huge pressure. The Catalan Dragons felt that he perhaps is a bit of a weak link, but full credit to him. He really has built his confidence, because he has had 2 beautiful runs downfield, working as an extra forward.
Ferriol hit that pass from Duro on the charge.
Move!
3 there to bring him down. Henderson again is the dummy half.
Important set this, Eddie. They've been under pressure. This is their chance now to try and reverse that.
Wait, lads, wait.
Gregory Muniz will play the ball. Henderson. Remy Casti driving it in.
Maybe a switch to the blind. Henderson will control it.
Now, there's Henderson. Here is Duro again. Oh, the beautiful... Oh, I was going to say beautiful hands. It was from Greenshields until it reached Blanche.
Well, that was try time. No ifs, no buts about it. It was a beautifully worked move.
That's a brilliant offload, as it's turned out, from Brangy Chase.
Well, Damien Blanche will be furious about this. It was a touch forward, when I say forward, in front of him. But that really, really should have been try time. Blown it.
Nearly was. Well, look, last time we were here, we gave the Castleford club a little bit of criticism about the lack of floodlights at this ground. They have worked hard to make sure the bulbs are in place this time, and we thank them for that, and I'm sure the supporters do as well. They've been cleaned, they've been installing new bulbs. Well done to the Castleford Tigers.
Oh, that's a forward pass. It was delayed and well spotted by the touch judge on that far side.
Is it forward? Didn't look at it at that angle.
No, maybe you're right. Hubie just set off a little bit later. He looked confused, did Danny Orr.
David.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes aren't the best, Eddie, but it is a tribute to the club to ensure that we can actually see into the corners on this particular occasion. Well done.
Well, in your day, Steve, you'd have been lending them a shilling for the metre, wouldn't you? Last time we were here.
Oh, you'd be lucky to get a shilling out of me, Eddie.
Menzies for the Catalan Dragons. Gets the ball away once again to Ben Farah. He's dealt with the threat by Ferris. Menzies at dummy half again. Duro. Ball goes infield to Muniz. He is Ferriol. Interesting about Gregory Muniz, by the way. The number 13, it's his 100th start for the Dragons. Knock on here, though.
They just lost control of it. There was no interference by Fozzard. He just rolled down his shoulder onto the floor.
It did. And Gregory Muniz, just let me make this point, it's his 100th start, his 138th appearance in all. The most experienced player on the field now, with Jerome Guisset, who we caught a glimpse of earlier alongside Trent Robinson on the coaching staff. He made 141 appearances for the Catalan Dragons. So Muniz in 2011 is on the verge of taking that fella's record away from him. Stuart Jones.
Well, I just get the feeling that Tony Batterson, when he brought off the bench Nick Fozzard, it just really has lifted this Tiger outfit.
Well, Fozzard's putting his hand up for more work. He's on the shoulder here of Danny Orr. They elect instead to go to Rangi Chase. Nice little dummy to Withers. This is Richie Mathers. Good tackling by Farah. Youngquest at dummy half. Gives it to Chase. Everything's through Chase. Hubie can't get the arms free.
I like his style, though, from Hubie. Goes in, twists in the tackle, looks for the offload on every occasion. Kicking the corner.
From Danny Orr. Claimed. Jones, another kick down the corner. And grasped by Cyril Stakoul.
Good position as well by Stakoul, it had to be.
Just on the Hubie non-selection for England, anyone got any suggestions why?
I don't know why, but I think he's been fantastic for them. What I like about him is how aggressive he is. You need a big aggressive prop in your team, and he brings that to this Castleford Tigers. I like the way he plays. I'm with you on that one, Steve-O. Some tough runs now for the Catalan Dragons. Get out of here and get a good kick away.
5 minutes to half-time. Castleford have fought back from 10 down. They lead 12-10. And if you look at the records this year, they're a second-half team, aren't they? Castleford last week, particularly against Hull Kingston Rovers, brilliant in the second half.
Oh, golden opportunity there wasted. It was a bad pass. Castleford only had one man on this right-hand side.
And a bit of a flash at the ball by Farah. It could actually have been a forward pass from Menzies anyway.
I think you're right, Eddie. Menzies delayed it slightly. And Ben Farrow was stood in front.
Dean Withers.
He's a hero at this ground, is this fella. The crowd go balmy every time he gets the football.
Hubie again trundles it forward.
Wait, go well back.
There's Darrell Clark. Now Fozzard. Straight into the chest of Henderson.
Get out of the way. He's had a huge impact, you know.
Good ball to Withers. He's broken the line, Withers. And again. But they come back and cut him down. And Rangi Chase had to get out of a couple of prone Castleford Tigers Catalan Dragon players there. Here is Darrell Clark. Taking it back where all this started. That's the last tackle.
And wait, go 5.
Danny Orr. Chase. Oh, charged down brilliantly. Great charge down it was as well. And it was by Sebastian Ragan.
Great work by Danny Orr. He swooped down. He was the man behind the line of attack. But boy, he was quick to get away there after the charge down.
Battieri down on tackle number 2. They're over halfway. Looping pass finds Duro. Here is Menzies. Menzies looking to get the ball away off the legs of Farah. Play on, yeah. Castleford were waiting. Could be fatal. Duro has slipped the net. And Duro will go in for his second try. Right behind the sticks. Well, the referee is going to hand this upstairs to Ben Thaler. But I'm not so sure there's anything wrong with this.
I don't think there's a knock-on, Phil.
I can only think Richie Mathers thinks that there's been a knock-on or something called here, because
I think
what happens when he seems to stop here?
That's play on. Well, he's going towards him. I mean, this is the offload from Menzies, which is it's fine. He doesn't hit it there.
It's play on, isn't it?
Yeah, flips it back and see better from this angle. Goes through. No,
great work, Menzies. Great work.
Nice footwork, wasn't it? But what about the pickup as well from Duro? And full-back, anybody there? No. Excellent stuff. Sometimes you've got to chance your arm, and it pays off for you, and that came about by the wonderful offload by Menzies. This shall be TRY. The French side are back in it.
They are. The try is given to Scott Duro. It's greeted with absolute silence down here at this ground. It's bang in front of the post where the conversion is going to be taken by the man himself. But it all came about as a result of that charge down up the other end of the field.
Certainly did. Just a little bit lax there.
Did so well.
Well, Rangi Chase took a long time to get that ball away, but look how Danny Orr gets it. Looks as though everything's fine, and then Menzies comes up with a beautiful offload. Okay, it hits the ground, but if you come and score a try, it becomes beautiful. Richie Mathers will not want to see that time and time again.
Duro adds the extras. The Catalan Dragons hit the front on the stroke of half-time. 16-12 now.
You know, I want to make a point about this. The modern-day rugby league player needs to be able to defend, but he also needs to be a threat when he runs with the ball. You have to either be too strong or too fast or too evasive. Steve Menzies, still at his age, Eddie, is probably the most threatening player. If you said to all the players on the field tonight, one of them's going to run at you with the ball, I think they would least want Steve Menzies. His footwork, his strength, and his ability to offload in the tackle makes a huge difference. That kick's gone too far. And Castleford are in trouble here.
Got to wait for it, Scott. We've got to get him back.
Well, your point about Steve Menzies is well made, because he played in every single game for Bradford last year. Green Shields is too experienced to even bother with that. Sails out on the full. Penalty on halfway to the Catalan Dragons, and over a minute left to play in this first half, and the Tigers being called on now to show their defensive quality.
Well, it looks as though the Tigers had taken full control. Okay, they only raced away to a 2-point lead, but they were bossing things out there. They looked a little bit tired. The Catalan defence was all at sea, and they'll come up with something here. Maybe they'll kick early.
Well, there's Batieri. Trent Robinson wanted his team to start well. They have. They look like they're going to finish well this first half. And there's Henderson trying to ghost his way through the defence, and he's still there, Henderson. Hubie to the rescue, just got his body between Henderson and the try line. Batieri is the doubly half. Not the best pass, looping, but here is Muniz.
Will they go for a 1? Surely not.
Setimar to Saar. They're allowing him to run at them.
5, move!
Well, they're running out of time.
It's a penalty.
Oh, he's got a penalty. They'll take the 2 points.
Well, Mathers got involved then, and he had no need to. He got involved and he turned around to the referee and almost appealed for the penalty against him.
Stay back.
Well, I'll be surprised if... Oh, they're going to take the tap. No, they've decided. That's good thinking by their coach, Trent Robinson. Get the message out. Hey, come on, fellas. 2 points is vital.
Well, the players themselves saw the score on the big screen. And Terry Matteson, having seen his men battle back from 10-0 down,
second half,
he now will see them probably turn round at 18-12 in arrears. The 4th penalty for the Catalan Dragons. And this is eminently kickable for Scott Duro. Top of the table, beckoning again for Castleford, but Catalan Dragons here to upset the apple cart. They haven't been beaten yet in 2011, the Tigers. The Catalan Dragons have won just the 1 against Hull Kingston Rovers up at Craven Park. Duro adds the 2 points that were on offer, and they turn round 18-12 ahead. Duro has been at the heartbeat for them. Mathers seemed to get involved in that for no apparent reason.